Alright, welcome back. This is Storm and Night with Storm and Knight's Gaming. We are doing another how-to video with Magicka today. For those of you who wanted to dip into it into PvP, we have here a homely soul that is with me to assist me in teaching y'all some of the combat tactics and little things that can improve your gameplay. And I will go over the passives and any kind of other skills that may free you or help improve your gameplay in Cyrodiil and or Battlegrounds. So starting off, I'm going to go into the DK passives. I'm using pretty meta build, Eternal Vigor, Grothar, Elfbane. So starting off with Ardent Flame, Busting passive. Obviously, you know, you're going to get more damage with your burning and poison status effects. And you get mag sustain for applying the burning status effect. So, reason why this is meta build, you're constantly getting the burning status effect with the charged staff, so constant mag sustain back. Warmth passive, you're getting a snare of 30% anytime your Ardent Flame abilities proc off. Keeps them slowed down in your dots so you can stay on target and drive it home. Searing Heat passive, increasing all your damage over time abilities by 33%, increasing the duration by 4%. If you're wearing Elfbane, that is a lot longer of dots that are set in as well. World and Ruin is your increase in damage of flame area of effect abilities. That also does apply to your standard and your Dragon Leap. If I'm correct, I think it does apply to your Magma Shell as well, it being AoE. For your abilities, Flame Lash is the main go-to this patch. You know, you can proc the off balance into a heal. It's main spammable. So that's why we've always used it, is it keeps you pretty topped off. You can go with the Molten Whip more for more damage, but you're losing the heal, and that's not something you want to go with in a low heal meta. Burning Embers, longer it's in, more you're going to heal. A lot of people are misunderstood about this ability, that, you know, maybe it's not healing that much because they're casting it too quickly or whatever. So I'll slot it and I'll show you. So if I just hit it, let it tick off here at 9 seconds right now. Spikes are away, and it's gonna hit for 5,800. Hit it again. This time I'm gonna do spikes. That 12% healing buff that I always stress about. It goes from 5,800 to 6,100. Good 300 point boost. Of course, whenever you hit it into a full buff, hitting for 6,600. You maintain your whole buff rotation and all that, Burning Embers is going to hit a lot harder. Now, yes, you can use it, you know, in a... Go ahead and heal homely, if you can. No? Okay.
No, my brain.
Ah, okay. Well, if you let it proc off for a little bit and just redo it, you can sit there and continuously get a little 3,300 point heal. So even then, it does have a nice little burst to it there for a second. Moving on. Your engulfing flames. Gonna boost all your flame damage in general by 10%. Burning Ember scales off of damage, so it's increasing your heal due to the engulfing flames. Unrelenting Grip, mainly meant for group play. I have used the other morph in the past just for gap closer and having the major expedition, but whenever you're using this one this patch, people are very grouped up, so you can jerk people in and knock them out one by one. Undodgeable, unreflectable, like, pretty nice. Flames of Oblivion or Cauterize, your choice. Flames of Oblivion hits, I think it's 3 targets total. And Cauterize can hit someone in your group for the heal as well. This one has a radius of 15 meters, the other one has a radius of 28 meters. Cauterize does, has the 28 meters. Apologies for that. Both of them give the major crit bonus. Both of them scale off highest stat. This does hit pretty hard, like, especially in an X. Flames of Oblivion alone, a lot of people normally try to do that to get their Molten Whip stacked up there. Moving on, Draconic powers. Starting off with passives. Get the increased block damage. 12% healing while Draconic power ability is active, aka keeping your spikes up. Increase health recovery. Increase your melee attacks by 2 meters. Only applies to instant cast attacks. So for example, with Whip, you can hit from about this range. So you don't have to be right up in on them. Make sure I'm not killing her with that. There we go. Trying to figure out where I lost my place there. Increase your spell resistance by 3,300. So to offset that, you know, you can go into your armor and do reinforced or champion points and try to balance it out. Volatile armor, it does return damage back. It scales off magic damage, so it's giving a substantial amount back for direct damage attacks against you. Pretty good against melee builds. Gives you your 12% healing, gives you your major resistances for 20 seconds, brings Nightblades out of stealth, 10 meter radius, duration of 20 seconds, like, awesome skill overall. Gives a dot, 8,800 for 10 seconds. Burning Talons, 6 meter radius. The dot duration is normally 4 seconds. It is scaled up due to Elfbane up to 9 seconds. If you have a team that is actually smashing synergies, this will hit really hard, but it will root them and allow you to proc the off balance on your Flame Lash. If you use other morph, it's 15% minor maim, reduction of weapon damage on the targets that you hit with it. So either one is good. I've used them both in the past. Now, trick to that is that I try to stress whenever I'm teaching people Mag DK. Say if you ever get them Talonsed, grab their back. As you saw, you get your little, at the bottom right of my toolbar there, little change in your appearance to Flame Lash for the Power Lash. It is half the cost. Whenever you proc off the power lash, you get a big heal. When you get them with the talons and you grab their back or, you know, roll through them, whatever it may be, a lot of classes require line of sight to hit you. So reduction in damage and just stopping damage overall just by taking their back is very key, especially when you're having to spam flame lashes consistently on multiple targets. Having the line of sight is something that not a lot of people think about. If I'm in combat and I see her, you know, facing me at this direction, I'm making sure I'm breaking line of sight at all times, trying to stay behind her and, you know, consistently get my damage in to where she cannot get her damage in. Coagulating blood, this piece of shit hill, I mean, this glorious hill. It's just so overpowered. All jokes aside, it is going to be getting buffed next patch by like 16%. We'll see how that works out. But running Eternal Vigor, obviously, with the Major Fortitude is pretty nice. And it's going to scale a lot higher on how big the heal is, on how much max mag you have, and how much max spell damage you have. But as well, it's going to get stronger the more missing health you have. It does dip into Battle Spirit, so that's why it doesn't hit as hard as, like, say, Breath of Life. If she was to... Could you do some damage to me real quick? You heal before you're at 50% health, for example. It's a very low heal. Now, granted, I don't have my buffs up. Eternal Vigor is kicking in. But if I'm at 20%, or even 10% like I just dipped, it's a much bigger heal. It's about 20-point heal every time. So, lower your health gets, the better. Moving on into Dragonfire Scale. A lot of projectiles this patch, including Crystal Frags, Coloron's Legacy, proc sets, whatever you can think of that's a projectile. This will reduce the damage by 50% for the next 6 seconds. Use the other morph, it is a snare removal. It still does give you the projectile damage reduction, but this one punishes those people that want to use those proc sets or those bow builds or sling frags at you. Be surprised how many times a Sorc will just keep slinging their projectiles, or a bow gank will keep slinging projectiles and nuke themselves because of this. Deep Breath did recently just receive a buff, and it's going to receive another buff. Well, both morphs are. Deep Breath is going to be your damage morph of it, and your inhale, I think it's called Draw Essence is the other morph, and that's going to be your more healing morph of it next patch. This one sets them off balance, allows you to get more of those power lashes off, so that way you can get more heals off and continue with resource mitigation and more damage. Next patch, the explosion after 2.5 seconds, you know, it's gonna be increased. I think it was like 150%, so it's gonna hit very substantially hard next patch. But I'm gonna go ahead and forfeit that duel real quick so I can show you a combo that I personally have used in the past. That is what a lot of mag DKs do. Mag DK is very finicky with its combos and certain skills that you use, because you won't use the same skills with the same combo every time. Now, with this one, what a lot of people try to do is they'll get them challenged into an inhale, leap, lash, lash. Whenever you're in combat and you know you're proccing off everything at once, you already have your dots set in, and you do that in a large group, it's going to hit them all really hard if you've timed it well enough. There's no AoE cap on it anymore, so you can hit as many people as you want for this for the heal and the damage done. Earthen Heart, Magma Shell, I'm currently using this one. It's pretty much like the stam ability of Corrosive Armor, except without the penetration. It is a very nice flame damage over time of 18 seconds, and it does reduce the damage you take by 3%. If you're playing in group play, then the damage shield is going to help out your team, especially in outnumbered situations. Obsidian Shard has not been used, to my knowledge, on a Mag DK since it's been changed. Didn't go over the passives. Increase the duration of your Earthen Heart abilities by 20%. Battle Roar passive, going to be a decently sized heal and a source of your resource sustain. Higher the ult cost, more you're going to get back. When you cast an Earthen Heart ability, you and your group gain minor brutality for 20 seconds. So whenever you're casting your Fossilize in a group, you're increasing all your stam DPS's weapon damage by 10% for the next 20 seconds. On top of that, you're getting 3 ultimate back every 6 seconds, and you're going to be getting 990 stam back every time you cast one. Molten Armaments, kind of used in group play, allows people to free up a little bit of bar space. Fragmented Shield, a couple people been running that this patch. Scales off your max health, but that's not why we use it. We use it for the major mending and the stam sustain ult gain. Whenever you combo that with a Dragon Blood, it will hit substantially harder, but Dragon Blood, in all honesty, still is a little rough. Fossilized, one of the best stuns in the game. Gonna stun them and root them. There's not much to say other than this is gonna be your main used ability on a Mag DK. If you're not using it, you're wrong. Cinderstorm. I've seen a couple people run the Eruption Morph, but I like the Cinderstorm because it's an AoE heal and 70% snare for the rest of your team. So everybody's receiving this 1400 some odd heal every second. It does cost 5,000. It does have a duration of 18 seconds, radius of 5 meters, but it's an instant cast that you can cast anywhere. So if you see your teammate over there that needs a heal, cast it over there. You see a group of people that's almost dead and your team's trying to catch up, go ahead and snare them up. Alright. Slot a couple of these on here. I will go ahead and state that if you plan on using a Frost Staff on your back bar instead of a Sword and Board, you do not want this passive. Otherwise, you're going to drain your Magicka and you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Some Mag DKs do run Resto Staff. If you feel like you want to, go ahead. Obviously, if you're leveling one, I would suggest having one-handed shield, destro, and resto. Obviously, have your light armor and heavy armor because metas change, and that would be the best course of action to do. Shooting star is an old school ultimate that is still good even to this day on a mag DK. So, if you feel like you want to run that and have a little bit extra Magicka and ult gain, go ahead. There isn't too much more that mag DKs really prioritize in past when I've ran it. Go-to races would be Breton and Dark Elf this patch. I think Dark Elf is the more ran right now. Make sure I didn't miss any combos here. Or what I can do. Show some different combos. Okay, I'll show this. There we go. So obviously, I'm gonna let her duel me and do some damage real quick. So that way you can see how much of a change that fragmented shield does make. Food right out. Does hit substantially harder. Combine that with something like a Cinderstorm. Makes you pretty tanky. Now your main go-to gonna be planting your dots. Get them all set up and ready to go. Grab their back. Whip. Whip. I like to medium weave into another stun. Instead of wasting resources. If I do have to fossilize or I see that they're squishy enough, I will go with the fossilize. If it's a 26, 27k health target, or it's a pet sork or something like that, it's going to make more sense for me to go ahead and talon them all. For the sheer fact of I can proc off multiple power lashes and keep my heals up. Let me throw this on. I will suggest for Destro staff, if you are planning on running a Mag DK, make sure you have your Elemental Drain on there. If you do not have it on there, your resources are going to be hurting and you're going to notice a huge dip in your damage. With this build specifically, there's not much to it. Your offense is your defense. So the more damage you're doing, the more you're staying offensive, laying in your dots, keeping up your burning embers and getting your power lashes and all that, you're going to constantly be healed. You can't sit there and take pressure and just be spamming coag. Because if you're doing that, you're going to run out of resources before you know it. It would make more sense for you to lay in your dots, get a quick coag, maybe two if you need it, go back into a fossilize or a talon, get that power lash while your burning embers, if you choose to use it, is going off, your ults, whatever it may be. That's how you're going to get your health back in a high combat situation. With your offense, it's pretty cut and dry. You just talons them up, get your lashes in, fossilize, and rack up the kills. Like, keep up your buff rotation, debuff rotation, dots, whatever it may be. Other than that, I do think that is it for the build, or not the build, but the how-to video. Apologies. And if you want to see any more content, I do have 3 more how-to videos lined up on the weekend. I think I have the Stam Warden, Stam Blade, and Stam Necro lined up this weekend. So if you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, hit the like button, comment down below if you have a specific class or specific build that you want to learn how to use. If you want one-on-one time on Xbox NA server, I'll be more than happy to do one-on-one time with you. Teach you the nitty-gritty stuff of whatever class you want to